Hi everyone. Yeah, okay, let's see if anyone there already waiting for this live itself. Okay, first of all, yeah, good evening and thank you for tuning in for those of you who are like super early bird, right? Okay, meanwhile, let me just like take a look into my iPad now and see whether yeah, okay, it's going on live, okay? So I need to know if there's anyone watching now. Just let me know that whether the sound is clear, okay? Hopefully you can actually hear me clearly, right? As usual, Chang Feng is there. Thank you, Chang Feng, for always tuning in, all right? So yeah, just let me know if the sound is clear, if all is okay, right? And then I also like to apologize because yesterday itself, due to the workload for this week itself, right, I couldn't like really come up with a enough time to come up with a good content for last night's travel feng shui series. Okay, therefore I decided to cancel it. I'll only do it for next week because this few weeks, in fact this few months itself, we are actually preparing for a lot of things. Yeah, and like time are really very tight. Okay, so meanwhile, let me see who is there. Okay, Chang Feng say it's like loud and clear. Thank you. Leah Tay is there. Okay, Nelly Choi, hi. Okay, thank you for tuning in. CW Ang, thank you. All right, loud and clear too. Okay, so good. All right, Tai Nyok Wei as usual. Nice to see all of you on my Facebook. Of course, tonight's topic itself will be all about the Chinese 7 month. Okay, I'm sure as those of you who are local from Malaysia, okay, you already know, like, Chinese 7 month is like the month, okay? So those of you who are Chinese, I'm sure, like, okay, somehow, whether or not you are Buddhist or Taoist, okay, I'm sure somehow you have heard about like this particular month itself has a very strong significance, okay, when it comes to some traditionals or some like cultural sort of like celebrations or festivals, okay? Therefore, we call it the 7th month itself. We also call it the ghost month, hungry ghost month, to make it scarier, okay? So tonight's session itself, right, I'm going to talk, okay, more about what is it all about this Chinese 7 month, okay, based on my, of course, experience and also my like histories, okay, of like I started off in the temple, okay, so it's like from Taoism perspective, okay, from of course astrology, okay, from feng shui astrology perspective itself, okay, and also from spirituality perspective itself, okay, like what's so special about this 7 month is like, why is it, especially the Chinese, okay, right, they are like greatly in a way celebrating it because it's a festival, okay, it's something that people celebrate, all right. Now besides the Chinese, Western astrologers, they also in a way look greatly into this particular 7 month. Now 7 month itself means that the transition once we go into August, okay, because August 7 or August 8 plus minus 1 day depending on the year, that's when we transit into the monkey month, okay, and that is when, okay, even in Western astrology, which I have actually shared it, okay, on my Facebook post, okay, earlier on, that they call it the Lion's Portal Gate, okay, so it is also a celebration, okay, because on the 8th of August itself, right, okay, which is the transitions of the solar calendar into the monkey month, okay, that is the peak, okay, where the energy is at the peak, where they are looking at it and call it the Lion's Portal. So what is it all about, okay, how is it going to affect us, and why do we need, okay, or even need to understand or know it, okay? So tonight's session, it will be all about that. So it will be good if you can, I really hope that all of you who are following me here, can you please help me to share this session out so that it can actually reach out to more people, okay? So yeah, that would be great and awesome if you can actually help me to share it out, so that of course the information here, which I have put in a lot of effort curating it out and sharing with you, at least it has a chance to actually reach out, okay, to more people. All right, meanwhile, while we're waiting, okay, let me say hi to Yvonne Lee, Joanne Cock, okay, thank you so much. I see quite a number of like new names, okay, here, okay, those of you who are first time following me on my Facebook Live, thank you so much, okay, for following, okay, and then I also see Jennifer Ong here, okay, Aggie Tan, thank you so much for sharing, Aggie, okay, and then Annie Shin also all the way from KK, Sabah. All right, okay, so let's actually in a way starts off, okay, with tonight's sessions itself, okay, so first of all, we need to know know about like the 7th month, okay? So it's like, for Chinese itself, we celebrate the 7 months itself as a Hungry Ghost Festival. It is a month, okay, or at least a celebration or a festival that runs at least half a month itself. From the first day of July, okay, right, in the lunar calendar, means the 7th month of the first day, okay, it actually celebrates all the way up to the 15th day, okay, where the grand ceremony will take on the 14th night itself, okay. So this half a month itself is like you will see, okay, in like places where you see a lot of Chinese, okay, especially in Hong Kong, Taiwan, of course Malaysia, Singapore, you see that, of course, not during MCO, okay, you will see that a lot of people are actually praying, all right, probably by the roadside. There are a lot of rituals, there are a lot of even people, theoretical performances and all that, all in a way are offerings, okay, to the spirits of the lower realm, okay, or in other words, we call them ghosts lah, okay. All right, so why is it the 7th month? And then why is like, a lot of acclaims that, even people say that, for those of them, okay, with yin and yang eyes and all that, I'm not sure any of you here have yin and yang eyes. Hi, Mr. Lim, okay, this one must start you full, okay, right, that's a very, very good friend from Singapore, serious bright, okay, Melissa Lim, okay, Jacqueline, all right, thank you so much, okay, to all of you here, Yap Lilian. It's always very nice, okay, to see, all right, all your familiar names. In fact, I also see a lot of new names, okay, on my Facebook Live itself. So thank you so much. I really hope that you can actually keep helping me to share this out. Hi, Miss Ng, Kim Ng, okay, thank you, okay, for joining me here. All right, so now, I'm sure all of you knows about the 7th month, about the Hungry Ghosts. I'm not going to talk about the histories of it or the culture, what's the meaning of it. You can Google about it, okay? All right, because like overall, you know that in the 7th month, a lot of Chinese especially, they do a lot of offerings, okay, to the lower realm spirits, or in other words, we call ghosts, okay? We burn like, paper effigies, okay? We do a lot of like offerings. We even have performances, specially dedicated to them, okay? And those of you are familiar, right? Normally during these performances by the road street, but the street side and all that, right? Okay, the front row are all reserved seats. Okay, those are so-called VIP seats that we are not supposed to sit on it. Humans are not supposed to sit on it. It is reserved for those friends. All right. So now, why 7 months? And that's like, from ancient time up to now, why even this traditions becomes a festival? Okay, so I'm going to actually share it from the astrology point of view. Okay, right. So from the astrology point of view, the first most important thing is you have to understand when it comes to feng shui. Now, you see, I have a split personality. Split personality in the sense that when I go to the temple, okay, when I do prayers, and of course, in a way, it's like, sharing in terms of like temple work and all these things in Taoism. Of course, we use the words 神鬼, means that they are gods or deities and also ghosts. Now, when it comes to metaphysics or astrology, when it comes to feng shui, Chinese metaphysics and all that, in a way, we do not use the word ghost, okay, but we use the words energy. That's why when we talk about like, feng shui and all that, it's all about energy. So from this part itself, right, okay, instead of labeling them as as ghosts, we label it as either higher energy or lower energy, okay? So therefore, if you ask me, is like, do you believe in existence of ghosts and all that, okay? Like people have asked me before. If you ask me, of course I do, okay? But is it that ghosts actually appears as if that how people would have described them, okay? Now, to me, it might be different, okay? So remember, it's like, to me, it's like I see ghosts as like a different energy level that will in a way connect with our human beings, means like different background, okay? Different memory, collections of memories or collections of our consciousness and all that, okay? With different people, somehow they manifest or they see, okay, this lower energy in different perspective, okay? They see it, or appearance of it, or the manifestation of it is different. Example, if you are in the West, okay, chances is when it comes to when the portals or the lower energy realm opens up, probably people in the West itself, you will see like what? Draculas, werewolves, okay? So possibilities is like they will see this because this part of their consciousness or collective consciousness that they are so-called ghosts or all these like more lower energy beings appears, or Frankenstein's, Draculas, okay, and all that. Even up to now, you see that a lot of countries in the West itself, right, okay, there are actually in the way histories or even indications that the existence of Draculas. Now, for else, okay, in Chinese, okay, let's say if you're in the eastern part, probably these are the sites where people actually sees like, ghosts that appears differently, okay? It might actually appears mainly in red color, okay? All right, sometimes it's got long hair, the typical Chinese looking sort of like ghosts, okay? Now, to me, okay, I am actually not deterring, okay, the presence of ghosts, okay? But to me itself, it's just that when this lower energy, okay, is affecting us in different manners or in different forms, okay, whatever things that we see or we thought that we are seeing, okay, in our realm itself are the manifestations of the collective consciousness in our subconscious mind, okay? It means whatever that we have in our way encountered, the memories that we keep within ourselves, either these lifetimes or even the previous lifetimes, okay, whatever sharings or memories that we have, not only subjective to this lifetime, but even previous lifetime, okay? So that's how it manifested. But the thing is, okay, why do people manifest more, okay, of these lower energy beings on the 7th month, okay? Because overall, if we talk about energy exists everywhere, in every month. I mean, throughout the year itself, throughout all those months itself, energy exists in higher and lower realm. But why is it heightening on the 7th month, okay? So that even in Taoism and Buddhism itself, okay, they decided to make a celebration to this particular ceremony, okay? It's supposed to be a celebration, it's a festival, all right? It is not supposed to be a spooky month where you're supposed to be scary about it, okay? Because there's something to be, in a way, celebrating about, okay? Western Dracula, Asian Pontianak, okay? Yeah, okay? So that's why it's like, for Western people, Dracula from Romania, yeah, okay? So it's like, for different people, okay, we somehow, in a way, see the reality or we see this different realm in different perspective, okay? But of course, tonight's topic itself, okay, is nothing about the ghost, but why is it the 7th month? Why is it throughout the years itself? Because if we believe in energy, everything around us is energy, okay? Right? Every now and then, even during Chinese New Year or Christmas celebration, all right, there are still lower energy around. But why does this energy heighten on the 7th month, okay? And why is this energy so strong during 7th month that people, especially the Chinese, all right, needs to actually, in a way, celebrate about it, okay? So today, we're going to talk about that. And before I start, I need to actually change a scene a bit and bring out my slides. Okay. All right. Jennifer Ong, we've been told since young ghost is either white or red, okay, maybe black also. Yeah, really, okay, which is exactly, okay, a lot of stories, especially when you're in the temple and all those things, right? A lot of people will come here, they say, 撞鬼啊, okay, they say, they have encounter with ghosts and all that. So they have come to the temple, and some of them can even describe to you. And of course, so far, I have heard really lots of descriptions. Some have very long tongue, okay, that they can see them licking around. I mean, I'm not, in a way, making fun of all this, okay? I can understand because it's all these things exist, but how it exists itself is really depending on our collective of our memories or in the subconscious, all right? Some of them even say that some in white, some in red, okay? Some can only see hair, some can only see shadow, they cannot really see the actual figure or describe it out, all right? So since it's a 7th month now, in case those of you who do not know, okay, might as well I come up with this particular topic itself so that at least more people can understand, okay, all right, why 7th month? Why ghosts, okay? How does it happen, okay? And how we can actually make the best out of it, okay? How we can, in a way, cater to this particular special month or special timing, okay? To help us to grow as a being or to grow as a soul or a spirit, okay? So, of course, when we understand that, of course, here, okay, those of you who are first-timers, probably this is a bit new to you. But those of you who are seasoned with all my sharings, you know that everything or every time when I'm doing the sharing, I will always relate it back to heaven, earth, and man. Okay? So in Chinese, we call it 天時地利人和. Okay? So heaven, earth, and man, when it coincides together, when it aligns together, that creates our destiny. So at the end of the day, as a human being, okay, for us, we have the responsibility, okay, to actually, in a way, understand and master, okay, the heaven, the earth, and the man. At least these three things. It means that, in a way, if we can master heaven means, okay, it doesn't mean that we are God yet, okay? It just means that we know, okay, or we can in a way presume or assume or predict, okay, the shift of heaven means that we know astrology, we know, okay, all the planetary alignment, we know the sun and the moon, okay? So how is it going to impact on Earth? How is it going to impact on the energy on Earth? Or how is it going to impact on us, okay, as a being on Earth? So that is actually by understanding heaven, okay? Now, after heaven itself, we also need to understand Earth, okay? Earth itself is our environment. What's happening around us, okay, on this earthly plane, on Earth itself, okay? Of course, we can talk about external people, as how people functions, the collective fear or the collective hope or passion or every society have, okay? How's the politics like and all these things? All this is under the Earth equation, okay? And of course, the last part of it is human or man luck, okay? Now, man luck here, okay, is actually in a way a segment dedicated to human, okay? So this is a part where only human on Earth itself has this free will or choices to decide, okay, what we want to be or eventually where we want to end up on, okay, in this particular journey on Earth or this lifetime, we call it, okay? So only men have that, okay? Okay, let's put it human lah, okay? Don't be so sexist lah. Not only men, okay? Women also can. All right, so only human, okay, will have this in a way privilege, okay? We're given with the sense of intelligence and also wisdom, okay, to decide for ourselves, okay, what life we would want to have at the end of the day, all right? Either whether we end up being what we call, okay, the deities or the ghosts. Now, that's why the whole equations of the 5 things. Now, Tin, Dei, Yan or heaven, earth, man are only the first 3, okay? The last 2 is actually San, Guai, okay? It means like deities or God, you call it, okay? And then Guai here are actually, of course, ghosts or lower energy level. It means deity is Sun is a higher energy level and the ghost here is lower energy level. So as a human, we have a choice, okay? We have a choice to, in a way, elevate our energy. Means elevate our energies means that we keep on ascending, okay? And when we ascend, the energy becomes lighter. And when we actually make that ascension, okay, we can end up being called Sun. That's why if you look back in all Taoism, even Buddhism, right? All this is like so-called deities. They are all once a living beings, okay? They are all once a living beings. They are once a human. Okay, it's just that they 修道. 修道 means, right, they walk the path, they understand, okay, how heaven and earth actually works. From a 3D dimension, now they raise into a 5D dimension, okay, 5D dimensions, 5 dimension, 5D, not 5D dimension, okay, all right. So it's like, you know, for all these like human, okay, we have a chance because human, we are living in a 3 dimensions or a 3D, okay, environment, okay. But the thing is, when we decided, okay, that we want to raise our energy, it means that we starting to have more awareness. We're starting to have more consciousness. That's when people in a way starts to actually in a way see, okay, their life itself as greater than just in a way going to work, finding the money, hoarding to some of the belongings or the money, okay, and then after that living in fear for the rest of their life, okay, and they call it a lifetime, okay. So when people realizes that life actually means something greater, okay, so instead of progressing linear towards one direction, now some human can decide to actually ascend their energy. It means that they spiral up their energy instead of going one direction in how to say, horizontally, okay. So when a man or human decided on that, from a 3D perspective, okay, they can actually go into a 5D dimension. So when we are successful, okay, to enter the 5D dimension itself, right, okay, that's when we labor probably this particular human as like deities, okay, in Taoism, or you can call them as saints or angels, okay, all right. So all these saints or angels and all that, they are also in a way once humans, okay. So but the thing is, they cultivate their energy ascension so much that they become so light that eventually they becomes the deity. And of course, the opposite of the deities or the saints or the angels, okay, or the gods or whatever you call it, right, is the ghost. Ghost here just means that the lower energy that is existing in this realm of the universe, not only on Earth, okay, but somehow it is actually in a way existing on Earth, okay, right? Somehow if you see that, you know, have you heard about spirituality? People who say that, of course, all of us spiritual beings are all stardust. We come from different stars in the universe, but let's not go so deep on the open Facebook Live like this, or else all of you will be like, what the heck Jessie is talking about, all right? So the thing is, okay, if you believe that, okay, like we are greater than just on Earth itself, we look beyond Earth, okay, that's how we can actually, in a way, expand our energy so that we can actually reach into a fifth dimension, okay? But the thing is, there are a lot of people who are so attached to Earth, okay? They believe that everything on Earth is everything. They are the greatest, we are the smartest, we are the most intelligent. These are the people, in a way, there are so much attachments due to so much fear itself that all they can see is only planet Earth. But you know that planet Earth, comparatively to the universe itself, is nothing but like a dust, okay? It's just like probably just one little small little sand on the beach that you used to stroll, okay, during your holidays, okay? So planet Earth is just one of that, okay? Because you can see there are billions of galaxies and there are billions of planets in each galaxy itself, all right? So if you understand that itself, right, you know heaven, earth, man, followed by the deities, and the ghost itself forms the 5D or the 5-dimensional. Now the question is, it's all about energy. So as human, we have a choice, okay, to either ascend this energy or descending in terms of that energy. It means that the more fear we allow ourselves to have, the more attachment we allow ourselves to have, okay, we will live within this realm. Means forever, we will continue with a karmic loop on Earth. And Earth here is like, ghost realm, okay? So you see, the ghost realm here, we are not talking about under Earth, like Chinese Taoism, right? They talk about 18層地獄啦. Imagine that you have to open up and crack open the earth, right? Okay, and underneath is actually, in a way, like, the hell, all right? So that's not exactly the hell. Hell or heaven, it's on Earth itself, okay? So it's on Earth is where we decide our energy, whether we ascend or we descend. Means when we descend means we will continuously on this karmic loop, okay, in a way, keep on living multiple lifetimes again and again on Earth, where it is samsaric and also sufferings. That's why we go to Taoism or Buddhism and all that. They keep on talking to you about this particular sort of like understanding, okay? Like why we need to ascend ourselves, why we need to enlighten. Because once we gain enlightenment, that's how we can actually ascend our energy to heaven. That is on the 5th dimension. All right. So now, since human have a chance or a free will, okay, of choices, right? Of course, and then so human can decide, you and I, we can decide at the end of the day, we want to be that ghost, okay, or we want to be that deities, all right? So therefore, it's like, when, in Taoism itself, right, when people pass away, they will always do a calculations and all that. They will say that, oh, people who are somehow with a lot of good deeds and good karmas, they become deities or Buddhas or whatever. It goes into Fatwa, okay, into the Buddha realm. But of course, people with a lot of chok ngok to tuna means their energies are so still very heavy, right? They goes into the ghost realm. Ghost realm means, of course, they need to suffer lah, all those stories of hell lah, okay? All right, but the thing is now, since humans have this choice, okay, it means that now we as individual has a free will or a free choice to make so that at the end of the day, we can decide whether we want to be lighter or heavier in terms of energy. All right, so now then take a look at this slide itself. You can see that human now can decide whether we want to be a deity or a ghost. In Chinese, we always know this particular sharing itself, I have to use a lot of Chinese because that's how it origins, okay? Chinese metaphysics, okay? All these Chinese rituals, Chinese metaphysics, Chinese religions and all that is Chinese. So if you need to understand this deeper, you need to know a bit of Chinese. So if you do not know, it's fine. That's why I'm explaining to you. All right? So now, human here, since men have free will and choices, we can choose whether we want to end up being deities, angels, saints, okay, whatever you call it, or we can also end up being a ghost, okay? Now, so the choices here, what makes it different here is like, it depends on whether we keep on ascending our energy or we keep on descending our energy. Means that more love and compassion we have or more fear and attachment that we have. So that's the difference, okay? So why is it like deities and ghosts? So you can see here, now, human here, okay, have a decision here. I see between deities and ghosts here, okay? Now, what actually determines, okay, whether your energy is lighter or heavier? So if you know these 3 Chinese words, right, they call guai, guai, guai. Okay, I know some of you don't know Chinese, like, what is she talking about, okay? Guai, guai, guai means, okay, now, the first one is ghost, okay? Ghost means, of course, those of you, you know, okay, the first Chinese word itself is called ghost, okay. So ghost itself is a lower energy, it pulls the energy down. Now the second word here, okay, also rhymes, okay, with similar sounds like 鬼啊, okay. So this is actually 鬼計多端. People say, you know, when a person is so deceiving, okay, they deceive, they are very like, you know, sly or very sneaky, okay. They somehow, in a way, the chances is they might actually do something to harm other people or take advantage of other people. So that is another word that represents by 鬼. Okay, and of course the last one that decides whether you will ascend your energy or not is also a word that also rhymes with 鬼. That's called 鬼. 鬼 here means nobleman. 贵人 means the more good deeds that we do, okay, we are labeled as 贵. 贵 means, right, okay, you becomes enlightened, you becomes lighter, you becomes noble, okay. It's like in a way that, you know, the way that you see people look up to you. Why people say people look up to someone who is respectable? Why? Because their energy is lighter, okay. And why they actually look down at people who are despicable, okay, because their energy are heavier. So that's the reason, because up and down. And what makes it different is, of course, 鬼 gai is the one that actually pulls a person down. It means that this person, in a way, that they have a lot of all this, like, you know, sly, sort of like, do a lot of like deceiving things and all that, that will eventually ends up being a ghost. In other words, means that they will forever trapped, okay, in this 3D world, and they have no chance, or they won't see the chance to ascend themselves to the 5D, okay, world, okay. So but the last one here is nobility. Okay, so when we practice more nobility, okay, we learn all the virtues, okay, we do all the, in a way, greater goods of things, okay. So that decides us. The more noble we become, the chances of us becoming the deities also will be higher. So that actually, in a way, demarcate the difference between deities, sun, and 鬼. Okay, it comes back to this words itself to describe a person's personality, behavior, okay, that somehow rhymes, okay, to determine whether they are actually falling into the deities realm or the ghost realm. Okay, so now, since we talk about that, then some of you might be thinking about like, then why 7 months? Okay, I see you talk so much, you talk about deities, you talk about ghosts, but why 7 months? So in other words, it means that, okay, for human, if we want, okay, to ascend our energy, if we want to do rituals, we want the best timing. You know, in Chinese metaphysics, it's all about the right timing, doing the right thing with the right people in the right environment, okay, right place, okay, and the right timing is very important. Now, right timing means heaven's luck. It means that the alignment of the planetary or the sun and the moon and the stars in the skies. So if we get a right timing, okay, it means that we do certain things in a certain timing, certain month, certain day, certain year, it accelerates our action. Means whatever that we do, instead of like probably we have to do 10 times to succeed, maybe during a very special date itself, okay, we can just do 1 time and we can still have the results as if that we are doing it on a normal day, right? So because of that, okay, that August or the 7th month is very important. But why is the 7th month? So you look at here. So now we know that if we as humans, sorry, my hand got cut off, okay? So if we as humans, if we want to ascend more, okay, we want to actually ascend our energy, lighten our energy to become the deity, okay? So first, take a look at the Chinese words of deity. Now the deity here, or sun or God, okay, is this word, okay, that you can see on the top here. It's actually a makeup of like 2 particular sides of words, okay. One of it is Shen, okay. So the side of this deity is Shen, as you can see, that represents the monkey month. Now those of you who know Chinese metaphysics, you know that, okay, in that word of a God, okay, in Chinese, sun, the side of it is actually a Shen. Now, Shen here is given to the August month, which is where we are now. Okay, it's where the Chinese ghost months always falls under one. Okay, somehow within that 15 days, it will somehow interlay with the August month one. Okay, that's the monkey month. So therefore, you see that in order for us, okay, to in a way become that deities, enlighten our energy, okay, August month or the monkey month is actually part of the equation. And then of course, when you look at the side of this Chinese writing of sun, right, okay, you will see this particular xi, okay, this xi words, okay, and it's like, we call it's like something like a lai yi pin now, okay. Now, this particular side here, okay, that you can see in a lot of auspicious words, okay, that somehow all the words, okay, you can see all these words have this side here, okay, all the words which is auspicious here that especially relates to religious purposes, prayers purposes, like here, okay, of course you have God, deities, you have like blessings, prayers, like courtesies or manners or politeness, you have visions, okay, ancestors and auspiciousness. Now, all these words itself will always brings together with it this particular word, okay, that roots or comes from the word xi. Xi here means, okay, it means like, you know, it's like a show, review, 表示. Okay, when you, in a way, you have to reveal something, you have to express something, when you have to show something. Alright, so in other words, this word of God here, it means that, okay, that something needs to be shown or revealed during the monkey months, okay, which is the Shen month. So what is it to be shown or revealed during the monkey months, okay? So that is the next questions that we want to talk about. So why monkey month? So in Taoist, okay, if you go to a temple, I used to be in like, KLCMU, which is one of the oldest temple in KL. And then of course now, okay, we're operating, I'm hardly there. Sometimes during Chinese New Year, my mother-in-law is there and all that, okay? But the thing is, okay, now we are at Yiling Temple. We do a lot of prayers and all these things. Now, the thing is, so far, I find that what is lacking, okay, in the temple is education, okay? All this while, we do a lot of like prayers, okay? We do a lot of prayers. Even for me, I do a lot of chanting and prayers and like, xiu joy gai lan, okay? For that, yeah, you know lah, okay? If you go to a temple before, you will see me, especially in those days, okay? Where I have the time, you will see me standing there helping people to do chanting and also prayers and also, in a way, getting rid of energy, okay? Now, the thing is, what is lacking during those times is we are lacking of education. So it makes me so, in a way, enthusiastic, okay? I'm so passionate about, even though it's like I'm so passionate about sharing with people how all these things work. So if you pray in the temple before, you know that, okay? Now, every Jing means the first lunar month itself, okay? You will see that is what we call a Shang Yun Dan. You know, in Chinese New Year, if you see, every time on the 15th day of the first month, okay, of Chinese New Year lunar calendar, you will see people go and pray like Junwan. They go around the table, okay, with like someone praying for them. They go around so that in a way they get this heaven's blessing, okay? So that is considered the Upper Yuan festival, right? Which is, they believe that this Upper Yuan festival in the first month itself, right, is where we have the blessings from the heaven. 天官賜福, they call it. And then after that, on the Zhongyun means Middle Yuan festival, which is happening now, okay, 7th month. On the lunar calendar, 7th month itself is what we call Zhong Yun Dan, okay? That's the earth realm, okay? And the earth realm here means that Deikun, they're praying to Deikun, means that all these earth officials, okay? And the purpose of it is what? Sejoy. Sejoy means pardoning, for forgiveness, okay? So all this is like why we do offerings to the ghosts. Why we have to do all these offerings for the people who are deceased and all that. Why we have to do offerings to the lower realm. It is actually in a way to elevate our feeling of guilt, okay, and shame, okay? Right? Somehow we want to do something back, okay, to help people to hopefully in a way enlighten our energy in some way, okay? Of course, in other words, also we are in a way praying to all this, like Deikun. Deikun means Yim Lao Wang lah, okay, the god of hell and all that. To Sejoy. Sejoy means pardoning our own wrongdoings, okay, pardoning our wrongdoings and all that, so that when we pardon our wrongdoings, that is in a way based out of fear, hopefully during this month itself, okay, once we lessen our fear itself, our energy can also rise and becomes like more lighter, okay? So that is in a way Middle Yuan festival, which is celebrated, okay, throughout all Chinese or Taoist festivals during the 7th month, okay? Now, which is on the 15th day of the 7th month. Now, on the 10th lunar month itself, it's called Ha Yun. Now, Ha Yun here, they normally actually in a way focus on like, the water officials or Sui Gun. Now, water here in a way represents human. Tin Dei Yan, heaven, earth, man. Human, because human are in a way 70% of water. We are all emotional beings, okay? So here, normally they pray, okay, for relieving of adversity, getting rid, okay, of bad luck. Example, okay, 解壓, okay, so 水官解壓. So these are the 3 major important festivals, especially when it comes to the Taoist belief. So the one that we want to focus now here is actually the 7th month. They actually in a way do massive festival, as I mentioned earlier on, right? Okay, and a lot of offerings to offer all this, like, you know, like wandering ghosts or wandering spirits or wandering lower energy. The purpose is actually in a way to ask for forgiveness and also pardoning of self. All right, so now if we understand this, it means that every time during a specific timing means that, okay, let's say example, this particular month itself, this timing is the best for us to actually ask for pardoning and forgiveness of self to relieve fear. That's also the time where you see a lot of fear instigated during this month, okay? Because why? When the portal opens up, okay, for us to release fear, it means that first, you want to release the fear needs to come out in the first place, right? Okay? So that's why this particular month itself, right, is the month that actually holds the most fears. It means people are in a way more receptive to all this fear. People feel scared the most. Later, I will share with you why is that so as well, in terms of hexagram, in terms of I Ching, okay? All right, so you know that people do all these things is actually in a way trying hard, okay, to be forgived, okay, or to be forgiven, or in a way to actually enlighten themselves of lesser guilt, shame, or in other words, fear. All right, so now why human needs to do that? Remember, I talked about human evolutions versus human ascension, spiritual ascension. Because, right, okay, if we are not ascending, our energy, if not getting lighter, we will forever trap, okay, in a one-way linear direction. Means human can progress out of fear, out of greed, okay, out of like, scarcity, okay. People becomes more greedy, people becomes more selfish, okay. All these are evolving around a 3D thing. It's all about me. Only me matters. That's a 3 or the 3rd dimension, okay? But when we ascend to the 4th dimension or the 5th dimension, it brings different consciousness level, okay? So you see that humans, somehow we have evolved. We know that our ancestors or forefathers, we evolved. Somehow we believe, even in science, we believe that once upon a time, we actually evolved from apes, okay? We evolved from the family of monkeys, okay? So finally we becomes human, okay? And we are still evolving. We are still evolving with science and technology, with like business tycoons and all that. So a lot of people are harnessing a lot of control, okay? Status, power, richness, okay? Material worlds, okay? We are still evolving. But this evolvement, okay, is only linear in one direction. So what makes us different is we have to ascend the energy, okay? It means that whenever we realize, okay, like, no, we can have all the money in the world, but at the end of the day, there's still something still missing within the person, okay? This person can have all the power in the world, but so what? Eventually, one day, you will also be toppled down, okay? You'll be assassin, you'll be so hated over certain things, okay? That somehow, all these things still don't last. And that is the moment where people realize that besides this human evolution, at the same time that we need to also have this spiritual ascension. It means that the energy within us needs to ascend, spiral up, rather than just going linear in one direction. And that is when, right, people goes into spirituality, people goes into meditation, people goes into a lot of different tools like feng shui, 八字, tarot, okay? All these things to actually help us to gain more awareness in our life itself, so that now our energy can become lighter and lighter, okay? So now, let's take a look at what's the difference between a 3rd dimension, the 4th dimension, and the 5th dimension. So in order for you to actually have a quick look at this, right, okay, probably I need to excuse myself, only for a short while, okay? So now, here you can see that 3D dimension is all about me, material world. All this attachment, okay? It's like selfishness, okay? It's a control, power, status, okay? People who are greedy, okay? Victimized mentality. It is heavy energy that normally, in a way, keep on holding on the person down in this particular environment. And you look at the 4D, okay? The 4th dimension here now, you are in the middle between the 3rd and the 5th dimension. So now you are sometimes here, sometimes there. You are beginning to understand more about spiritual evolvement, okay? Now you are at a mixed state gateway, okay? Conscious being, okay? You are expanding your consciousness. You are now starting to seek answers to your life, okay? You are understand more things. You want to have more awareness. You want to see more connections, okay? You are attracted to tarot, feng shui, 八字. Now, not everyone will be attracted to this, okay? I've done numerous sharings and talks before. There are a group of people, they are only attracted to get rich quick scheme, okay? They only want us to actually share things like, or let me know the best formulas, or what are the best things that I can actually become a millionaire, probably, hopefully overnight, okay? They are still not. There's no right or wrong. It's all individual choices, okay? But once you get into the 4D or the fourth dimension here, that is when you're starting to understand about their structures. You can put me back on screens, okay? All right? And of course, aligning with our purpose. Once you're at the fourth dimension, we want to know more about our purpose, because we now have the awareness that why are we living even on this lifetime on earth, okay? I'm sure there's something deeper to that, okay? So you start seeing synchronicity, that everything happens for a reason. Like people, some of them, they start seeing like numbers, 1111, you know, I'm sure some of you actually have experienced that, okay? People become more connected, okay? Not with people around them, but within them, okay? They are also better into manifestations, okay? They do not, in a way, victimize themselves anymore, and they become more liberated. And of course, once you get into the fourth dimension, okay, the chances is you will also have, okay, another level of ascending yourself to the fifth dimension. That's when unified, okay, consciousness, where everything as one in unity, no longer duality or separations, okay. Now you're aligning with the divine, okay, you go with the flow. Now this is the level where they say heaven is a place on earth, okay. You start to feel, remember just now we talked 5D is heaven. You start to actually see your life as in you don't have to struggle so hard, you don't have to really work so hard. Doesn't mean that you are being lazy, right? You still work, you are happily, passionately giving up, okay, your energy onto something for greater goods, because you see you are guided and you're supported. You see, okay, all this universal knowledge, okay, you become more and more. It means that instead of in the fourth dimension you take in the knowledge, on the fifth dimension you share the knowledge. All right, that's when you see all this people who raise up to a certain level, who are very well respected as a human. There's all the Pope, the Dalai Lama examples, okay. These are the people, somehow they devoted their life itself, okay, to things which is more meaningful. That is when we know that we are in a way at the fifth dimension. Now, so if you understand this, again, why 7 months? You can do it on the first month, second month, third month, fourth month, right? Or the 12th month. But why 7 months is the best to do it? Doesn't mean the rest of the months are not good of doing it, okay? But at least the 7 month will be the best of doing it. Why is it so? Is because you see, now when we look at the evolvement of yin and yang on earth, it's all about light or darkness, okay? Either you receive the light or you do not receive the light at all. That's why you actually in a way falls into darkness, okay. So if you can see here, this is like a Tao symbol, okay, of yin and yang, okay. My daughter worked very hard in order for them, both of them actually, okay, especially Anne, who have to create all this out for me, okay. So so this is where you will see that, okay, the yin and yang modality here is is all about the sun evolvement. It means that when you see the light, how much you see the light, okay, how much daylight do you have, okay. So when you see this, okay, the Tao symbol is actually, okay, in one way you can also say that it is actually the cycle, okay, of the sunlight, okay. So cycle of the sunlight with or without the sunlight, mean with or without the light, means the light or the darkness, okay. So if you look at this, now in Chinese we have the 24 solar system, okay, okay, that is actually represented our 12 months, and between the 12 months itself, we also have intermediate within the 12 months, just like the lunar months itself, right? We have the first day, also the 15 days, that demarcates every month itself, okay. So from 12 months, you have 2 specific months that represents the 12 months itself, right? That's why you have 24, okay. So now we are here. Can you see that? August 7 to 9, okay. So we are here, we are at the beginning of autumn, okay. So August 7 to 9 is also what we call the monkey month. Just now we talked about this, okay. So now we are here. So if you look at this, now easier for those of you who know Chinese, who know hexagram, you take a look at this. Now this is also a similarity of that transitions of sunlight. Do you remember just now? It's just the transition of sunlight, the yin and yang, how it transits, okay, throughout the month of the year itself, right? Therefore, if you look at the tidal waves of the hexagram, okay, so you can also see that, okay, every month, okay, have a specific hexagrams, okay, part of the I Ching hexagrams to represent the month. All right, so and all these are fixed, means because it's a cycle, because all these are just cycle, and all this hexagram you will see that it involves the heaven and earth. All this hexagram, either it has earth, which is the most yin, or heaven, which is the most yang. Okay, it's always have involvement of either heaven or earth in this particular 12 hexagram. All right, now take a look at the tiger hexagram here. Okay, now the tiger hexagram here, not tiger hexagram, tiger month hexagram means that this is your February, means every year February, okay, it is actually in a way represented by this earth, heaven, okay, unity or advanced hexagram. Okay, it's like Deity Tai. Okay, Deity Tai means, right, you can see, now you can see here the tiger, you have 3 black lines. 3 black lines here means that 3 yin line. If you know the hexagram, right, yin line means, right, you have broken lines. 3 broken lines followed by 3 yang lines means like no unbroken lines. Okay, that's when you have the hexagram of what we call Tai. Okay, right, so here, okay, this is the area, right, the tiger here, okay, that gives you that Tai hexagram. Now opposite of the tiger, you see where we are now, that you see the monkey. I can't point so far ahead. Can you see just directly opposite it, you see the monkey hexagram, which is August month. That's when the ghost festival is. Okay, so now you see tiger month is a advanced hexagram. Unity means everything goes into expansion, where you see that the sun, the yang line, after you see now 3 lines become 4 line, become 5 line, and eventually all yang. So you can see that the yang line is gradually growing in a way, gaining strength. Okay, but the totally opposite, okay, you have a hexagram, okay, of Thiên Địa Bỉ. Thiên Địa Bỉ, okay, now that one you don't read as Phẩu, okay, so you see Thiên Địa Bỉ 嘅話, okay, is a stagnation hexagram. So you see totally opposite, you have 3 yang line, okay, on top of 3 yin line. Now the difference is yang and yin is heaven and earth. Okay, so when you have heaven on top and earth below in the monkey, okay, month itself, right, heaven keeps on ascending, earth keeps on descending. So if you have an energy like this, right, they are not meeting, they are not in abundance, they are not in unity, they are not in a way like merging together. So therefore, when you have an hexagram that's pulling apart from each other, okay, the further they goes away, the further in a way separations will happen. Therefore, this hexagram itself is considered as not a great hexagram. It is labeled as a stagnation hexagram, where you have a lot of issues, problems, okay, and you can see the earth is opening, is going down and deeper. Okay, so therefore, okay, you see that, okay, heaven and earth, heaven is rising more, earth is going deeper more. So when you go through a month like this, okay, it means that now the yin energies, can you see from monkey month onwards, right, okay, from 3 lines, the black color lines becomes 4 line, 5 line, and eventually it becomes all yin, okay, in the pig month. So you know that the yin energy, okay, or what we call the negative or yin energy, okay, somehow, okay, it is gradually growing. Because now it's balanced, okay, in the monkey month it's balanced, 3 equals to 3 or versus 3. But you know that in monkey month onwards, the yin will overtake the yang. It means more of all this, anything that represents by the yin, our fear, okay, our uncertainty, our shame, our guilt, every emotions that branch out from fear, it will only grows greater from the 7 months onwards. Now, other than that, okay, if you see, okay, now if you go to the temple, okay, you know that there's this such thing they call 解天羅地貌. Why is it so? Because you see, every animal sign in every month itself, right, is also demarcated by a certain portal or certain gateway. Let's call it that way. All right. So you see that Hoi Wai Kin means the pig is a heaven's portal, the snake is the earth gate. Okay, monkey is the human's portal, whereas tiger is the ghost gate. Portal means that is a gate. Okay, it means that Hoi Wai Tin Moon. That's why you see, right, for feng shui, now the pig month is at the northwest sector. You know why they always say that feng shui, okay, they are always very concerned. They do not want to put your stove or your kitchen in the northwest sector, because they will say 火燒天門, fire burning to the heaven's portal. We do not want to do that, okay, because why? In the pig location is where the heaven's portal is. Okay, so you see that the demarcation between heaven, can you see that the pig there, it is all yin. Okay, when everything is all yin and all yang, okay, it becomes a portal. Means this is something special in that axis. The snake and the pig axis itself is something special, because what you see here is either the heaven or earth hexagram. Okay, so why is it on the pig there is called a heaven's portal? Because the hexagram itself is actually reflecting on the opposite. Okay, so therefore when it goes to the pig, okay, is where the portal, can you see that all the earth is earth kun gua. It all opens up. Now see, the deeper the earth goes, the higher the heaven will be seen. Okay? It's always yin and yang, okay? Right? The more we can, in a way, experience like sufferings or sadness, the more then we can experience joy. If people who have not experienced pain or suffering before, they do not know what is joy, okay? Because there's no equation. So when the equation is deeper, when the earth in a way opens up deeper, all the way deep down, okay, to the core of earth, that is called your heaven's portal. It means that once this earth opens up, at the same time, it can go all the way up to heaven. That's when the gate opens in the pig, okay, or the pig month, or the pig direct. That's another story lah, okay? So the same thing, in the snake itself, it is called earth gate. Why is it called earth gate? Is because you see all of it is yang, okay? All of it is yang line, the same thing, okay? When earth and heaven and earth opens up, okay, the axis is there, the axis is there, okay? So now you can actually, in a way, use the axis to either penetrate into heaven or earth. Now take a look at tiger and monkey. Now, tiger and monkey here, okay, is when in the monkey month, that's when you call it like the human's portal, and the tiger month is the ghost gate. Why is it called ghost gate? Because you see, all negative energy, once you reach into the tiger month itself, you better find ways to hide. It means negative energy. Let's say you talk about ghosts, okay? Right, once they reach into the tiger month, right, okay, why we celebrate coming of spring? Why is it Chinese New Year celebration? Why is it full of hope, full of positiveness? Because once after tiger, you can see that now the negative line become weaker and weaker. The yin line itself, right, okay, they better find ways to hide because they cannot in a way be seen too much in the yang energy because it will somehow dissipates them. Let's put it that way. All right, so therefore the tiger here is called what we call the ghost gate. Right, this is when, okay, in a way that all this yin energy, somehow it is slowly, like in a way, like, suppressed. Okay, it actually all the way suppressed, okay, and you slowly see that eventually the yin energy will be totally gone by the snake month, okay, and then only by the horse month it will slowly comes back, slowly comes back, and by the monkey month itself it goes back into equal. That's when the yin and the yang equals, means that now the ghosts, okay, or the deities, what we call it, equals. Now you have an equal fight, okay. That is when now, here when I talk about the yin energy, not necessarily means the ghosts, it means that when those axes of the tiger and monkey axis is, the portal of our subconscious minds open up. This is the alignment. Having the helping of the heavens means the alignment of the planetary alignment. Now we go to a month, okay, where our subconscious portal means our receptiveness to our subconscious mind or our unconscious minds are the most, in a way, like strongest. When it opens up, it slowly opens up. So when it opens up, okay, of course, traditionally of rituals or Taoism and all that, they say that's when, okay, when it opens, the ghosts come out lah, okay. But on a human perspective, on the spiritual perspective, when this opens up, the ghost comes out is our internal demon. The devil within us, our fear, okay? Because at the end of the day, fear is the how to say, the core of all unhappiness, all wars, okay, all fights, all how to say, all this unpeacefulness, okay, it all branch out from fear. People who are fearful that they will lose control, that's why they try to conquer, okay. People who are fearful that they will lose out on terms of money, okay, so that's why they will try to deceive or even make more, and so that other people actually suffers from it. They try hoarding, okay, jimpa, okay. It's all branch out from fear. So when you see in the monkey month itself, right, when that gate is opening, okay, it's not necessarily meaning it's like the gate of hell, you know, okay, right? From a spiritual perspective, it just means that the gate of our subconscious or our unconscious now opens up. And when it opens up, okay, all all hells break loose, they call it, right? Whatever these people have, okay, inside them, the fear, all this uncertainty or the shame and guilt, the ego comes all the way out. When it comes all the way out, that is a possibility. Remember just now when we talked about God, okay, whether can you be seen as a God or not, it is whether you can reveal the 視覺表示the reveal or show yourself during the monkey month. It means that when all hell breaks loose during the monkey month, that's when you can see yourself clearly, okay, whether your energy deserves on the deity level or your energy deserves on the ghost level, okay. How how, like, in a way, like, how much fear we have within us, okay? So that's when during the monkey month is that special portal. That's why they called it as a human's portal. Is when human during that month itself can decide, okay, whether they jump onto the portal that ascend them, okay, to the heaven's gate, or they can actually jump onto, okay, the path or the portal that descend them, okay, to the ghost gate. All right, so that is happening in monkey month. Therefore, you will see that a lot of like powerful from the west itself. Again, of course, it says that it's like Lion's Gate. Lion's Gate is all about courage. What's the opposite of courage? Fear. Okay, so why Lion's Gate portal is actually opening or peaking in the monkey month is because that is the month where people needs to celebrate their courage, needs to reclaim their power, needs to be more powerful, needs to be more courageous. Because when you become more courageous, okay, you have less fear. Okay, so that's how it works. So I hope that now you understand. So at the end of the day, when this portal opens, that's also for people's subconscious mind, if they're unaware of this, that's why they feel that how come I become more receptive to the energy around me? How come I feel like I see some shadow over there? I see some people licking my char siu before I eat it. Now, I'm not saying that people are making it up, okay? But the thing is, when this energy in a way interacts with our subconscious, we have these visuals, we have this reality that got manifested out. All right, so now when we have this, the most important thing is like, whenever this portal aligns, it's the best time for us to look deep into ourselves to find more about ourselves, because we want to wait for the gate to open. When the gate is not opening, it is not so easy for us to dive deep into it. Okay, we can dive, probably it's very shallow, but once the gate is open, that's when we go into all this, like, rituals or meditations and all that. Is the most powerful month. But then again, some of you will say there's like every month also got monkey month, ma'am. Okay, so does it mean that every month also we have the same result? Not necessarily. Okay, so looking at that, you have to see. Now, since last year, I have been passionately sharing a lot, okay, about the great conjunction that happens during winter solstice last year in 2020. Now, since last year onwards, you know that we've been sharing that we are currently going through this like magical shift of energy that's happening in the planetary alignment, or in the cosmic, okay, that we would call it, okay. So you see, last year itself, right, we have a very amazing date that none of us, you nor me, will have a chance to witness another conjunction like this, okay. It won't happen again. So that's called the Great Conjunction of 2020, which happens on winter solstice, okay, where you see Jupiter and Saturn align, okay, in one straight line, nearest to each other. This is like a zoom into it. Jupiter and Saturn, okay, is actually in a way is only like, between like what, 1/10 of a degree, it's so close together, the difference between them, okay, is so close together that you can see it as if it's aligned in a straight line. And whenever the planets are aligned in a straight line, just like the sun and the moon, okay, the portals open, okay, because it's a reset mode. It goes back. Remember, it's like you play your Rubik cube and all that. It resets back into its original position, okay. But again, now planetary alignments and all that, it happens quite, different planets, they align differently, right? Okay, quite frequently as well. Okay, probably every few years you will also see this. But this conjunction, great conjunction, you won't see it in this lifetime anymore, even though of a newborn, because it won't happen at least 200 years later. All right. So why is it so? It's because this great conjunction aligns at 0 degree north. 0 degree north means that it goes back into that what? A reset, a start all over again mode. Okay, so this happened last year. But what happened last year itself is only a beginning, right? The things has not started yet, okay? Because this year is a graveyard year, the year of the ox, okay? Now, next year is that powerful year. The most powerful year within this few years, the realm of this few years, is actually next year for people who are ready, okay? So why is it next year? Of course, later on, I will share with you as well, okay? Because next year, okay, we have another great alignment that it won't comes back at least another 180 years later, okay? But now we focus back here first. Why alignment is important and why this alignment makes this year's 7 months so special, okay? So this alignment, since last year, it has connected that you know that the planets are inching nearer to each other. They're getting nearer and nearer to each other. And you can also see here that this particular month itself, right, August 7, is where the solar calendar transit into the first day of a solar calendar. That way you see coming of spring, lap chao on the top. If you don't know Chinese, probably you don't understand, okay? Then on the 8th of August is the lunar calendar first day. So it's only like a 1 day gap, okay, or less than 24 hours gap between the transition of the sun and the moon, means based on the solar calendar and also the lunar calendar, okay. So this has actually happened this month. That's why it makes it, let's see the difference. If you check back, okay, whether the solar calendar and the lunar calendar, does it coincide on the same day or just plus minus 1 day, okay, you can check back, probably even up to like, early 2000, it doesn't coincide like that. Alright, now another thing is 1 month after this means that when we goes into September 7, that's when I have another meditation. Now so far I have not done any meditation workshop on the first day of a lunar month, okay, means new moon. But this is the first new moon lunar month meditation workshop, okay, which I'm conducting, which is falls on the 7th of September, because you see this particular month itself, you see solar calendar and the lunar calendar actually transits exactly on the same day. Now that is what we call, okay, the alignment of the energy. So once the energy is aligned, it actually creates something like this, okay. So it's a portal, it's like a gate. Once the gate, 7 month, lunar calendar, solar calendar, all aligning, it opens up that portal. That portal that actually in a way can transcend us from a 3D world to a 5D world, okay? It means it can transcend our energy, provided we are working towards it. Because at the end of the day, right, you cannot just rely on heaven. Oh, it happens, we wait there, hopefully, okay? Oh, yeah, happened to us. Somehow we become new. It won't happen like that, okay? Because remember, human got a choice, all right? So all human beings, okay, have a choice to now decide, since the portal is open, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to maximize, okay, this particular transition from 3D to 5D? How are you going to actually, in a way, make the best use of this, environment or cosmic energy, okay, to find more answers towards yourself, to know more about yourself, to learn about yourself. So once you get to know that, that's when you can accelerate, okay? Because if we do not know ourselves, just like when you drive a car, you don't even know the car, where to actually, in a way, is the gearbox, okay, where's the pedal of like, acceleration pedal and all that. You don't know where's the brake. If you don't know the car, you cannot drive it smoothly to reach your destination. So the first thing is you need to know, and in order to know when the portal opens, not only that you gain an insight of this lifetime, you can also gain the insights of previous lineage of previous lifetime. That's the importance of the portal. Remember, heaven and earth, as high as infinite the heaven can go, that is also the same as low and as infinite the earth can go. Okay, so that's why it makes this particular transition date this month onwards so special, leading all the way up to next year. All right, so that's how, if we imagine that you're a human standing in between, right, how low we can go, how low we can, in a way, dive in, okay, to our past, to understand ourselves, to know our fear, to know what is actually holding us back, okay. Once we can dive in to know about that, that's, in a way, it also reflects how high we can ascend. Because we cannot, if we don't go low enough to, in a way, dig, okay, in a way, deep enough, we cannot assign, okay, we cannot ascend, okay, to the higher level of things. All right, so I hope that today's sharing itself, okay, at least you learn something about it. Like, I know it's like, I got so excited, I want to share all these things on my Facebook Live, where else, of course, like some people would tell me like, why don't you just share it in a private session like Zoom and all that? But I seriously hope that these things can actually, in a way, reach out to as many people as possible. Therefore, I really hope that if you find it beneficial, if you learn something out of it, please help me to share this out on your Facebook as well. So hopefully, with that connection of energy, it can reach out to bring more awareness to people, to bring more awareness to the world itself, and at the same time, we bring more light to the world so that people can actually, in a way, suffer lesser lah. Okay, at the end of the day, it's like when the awareness is there, the suffering reduces. All right, so of course I need to share with you, those of you who already know that this Saturday itself, right, I have this tarot, your core and you workshop, okay, which is actually using tarot cards, okay, to understand more about our core nature, to understand more about soul purpose, okay? So that's your tarot and your core and your workshop, means that using your date of birth to calculate your soul card itself to understand more or bring more awareness to yourself. So if you have not signed up, we have 200 over people have signed up. If you have not signed up, please, this is your QR code. You can actually scan here, or you can also, in a way, click on the link which we'll be sharing, okay, on the comments below, and join me this Saturday 2 to 5 p.m. via Zoom, okay, which is 50 ringgit, okay? All right, so I really hope that probably those of you who have not signed up, you can sign up for this. This is knowing about What is your strategy? Understand about yourself. Means like moving forward, okay? From here, how to move forward, okay? What should be your strategy plan? How to plan ahead, okay? How to maximize your potential in this lifetime. That is your core and you. Now, in case, for those of you, if you're interested to know, now instead of moving forward, you want to actually delve deeper into our unconscious mind, or in other words, once we go into our unconscious mind, when we understand it, when we aware of it, that will also, in a way, label it as superconscious. Means our unconscious, once we are awakened, it becomes superconscious. It becomes the most powerful tool of all human or living beings on earth can have. Okay, that's the power of our subconscious mind. Okay, so if you are interested to actually, in a way, now when I say a full moon or new moon meditation workshop, right, doesn't mean that those of you attended before. The previous workshop, we have over 500 people, okay, because it's free. But I already dedicated 3 free workshops to prepare people for this upcoming special magical alignment of the planetary. But I cannot be giving free, okay, workshops all the time. You need to commit to it. So in case those of you, if you want to join me, okay, on my full moon upcoming full moon and new moon workshop, we also have these 2 workshops itself, okay. That is happening on the 15th day of 7th month, okay, which is on that what we call the 中元旦, okay. And then we also have the 7th September. We actually told you about when the sun and moon is transiting on the same exact date, okay. So that's when I'm going to hold my full moon and also my new moon workshop. The full moon here is a gift for self, okay. So gift for self here, of course, during the workshop, it's not all about meditation. Plus minus roughly about 2 hours. I don't set the time limit to it because it really depends on the progression of the workshop. The first part of it is all about awareness, learning more about yourself. Why is certain things important? So it will be a lot of sharings like this, okay? And then the second part of it, we go into a guided meditation that leads on to a sound session. So this particular workshop, the difference is, this time the sound session, I don't expect you to wake up immediately after the session. It means, doesn't mean I don't expect you to wake up. It means during this sound session itself, I'm going to actually bring you to dive deep. That's why it starts at 9, probably it ends like 10 plus to 11. You should be ready on your bed together with the sound sessions, and straight away, if can, doze off until the next day, because during the session itself, when we bring you deep into your subconscious, that's where a lot of awareness will come to you. It means hopefully through the sound session, it can actually bring you to deep sleep, to activate your subconscious, to bring out, okay, whatever either fear, blockages, or anything that's stopping you from moving forward, or anything that needs to be released. Remember the opening of the human portal, or the earth, okay, opening up. So whatever that's inside needs to come out, okay. So we also have on the 7th of September here, okay, a transformation in the dark, means it's a new moon, okay. So this particular workshop itself, also the same thing. First half is sharing, then second half guided meditation with, again, okay, some of the things that I'll be asking you to do, certain rituals for help you and guide you to find out more about yourself, okay. So each of these workshops are selling at 80 ringgit per session, but if you can actually interested to get 2, then you have a package price of 2 workshops together of 120 ringgit, all right. So you can scan on this QR code here to purchase, okay, right, either one of them or 2 of them at 120, or you can also in a way click on the comment below to actually like sign up for the session as well. All right, so yeah, basically that's all for tonight, right? Thank you so much to all of you. Any questions or any comments that I should be pay attention to? Okay, so far I don't see much questions here. All right, right. Tiger months always have the Qingming festival. No, actually Qingming festival is not Tiger month. Qingming festival is the snake month. Remember? That is when we actually in a way goes into, how to say, the ancestors. Because that is the part where we have the earth gate open. Okay, we have the earth gate and the heavens gate, remember? Between the snake and also the pig, okay. So Qingming normally falls, okay, under the snake, okay, a particular location, okay, because you see it's between the dragon transition to the snake, okay. So it's partly, okay, between the dragon and the snake, so it's there. So Qingming is actually the heaven and earth portal, okay. So for Tiger month itself is Lap Chun. Lap Chun means like the coming of spring, our Chinese New Year, okay. So it's all about Sam Yong Hoi Tai, okay, because that is exactly the month where you have the hexagram of 3 yang line. The 3 yang line, okay, the 3 yang line is gaining power and like growing like greater, okay? So that's why the February or the tiger month is always Sam Yang Hoi Tai, means the three yang gaining more auspiciousness, okay? So it's a Chuntit, it's a Chinese New Year, it's a renewer and full of hope, okay? Full of like new growth, okay? So that month is different. All right, so thank you so much to all of you, okay? You have a question here, Kim, okay, Sifu, is it offensive to ghosts, okay, and lesser gods, okay, when we use Gaman Yin and Tibetan smoke incense that is meant to clear obstacles? Now, okay, it's definitely not offensive, okay, because you see, you are clearing the energy of your home. You want to, in a way, lighten up your energy, because you see, all this energy are everywhere, okay? They can actually reside everywhere on earth, you know. They don't have to actually stay at home itself. Of course, when we do the Gaman Yin, okay, or when we do the rituals of using this, like, you know, cleansing or smoking, okay, we have to do it with a pure heart. It means that we cannot actually, like, the way doing it as if, like, you know, we are like looking for a fight, okay? We have to actually do it in a way with the most compassionate heart possible, in a way, because we are just clearing the area, okay? So hopefully whatever, like, you know, energies, okay, there are lower energy here, because the smoke, remember, fire transcends energy. So when we use smoke, when you use like incense and all that, we are also helping this lower energy to transcend. Okay, so again, it is not offensive, it is not even bad to them, because a lot of all these energies, they are lost energies, okay? They are not even sure, okay, where to actually, in a way, to reside on. That's why they're called lost energy, okay? They are very weak and like very, how to say, very, not, how to say, not focused, let's put it that way. So when we use smoke or fire element, okay, when we do prayers, when we do offerings, okay, it is not out of offensive purposes, okay? It is actually in a way to help them to transcend. Means that in a way we actually show them nearer to the light. We bring them nearer to the light, okay? So that's the use of it. Kim, monkey month is my death, seven emptiness. What is like death? Death and emptiness, you mean, okay? Monkey mind is my death and emptiness. Before I resist a confusing feeling by focusing on my plans more. What else? More spiritual retreat on this month, maybe? Okay, so like, yeah, definitely. Okay, especially if your death and emptiness month itself, right? Even better for you to actually go into some meditative sort of like awareness building workshops, okay? Because when you go into meditative together with your death and emptiness or Fu Yin happening in your chart, right? Okay, it will further opens up the portal more for you, okay? So that's a good thing. All right, so the next one, any more question here? Does performing transcendent puja, okay, Qildo, help the karmic debt during this hungry ghost month? That really depends on Chutfatim. It means like, know where you're branching it out. You know, people do all this puja, burning offerings, you know. Now, a lot of people burns out of kiasunas. You know, kiasunas, like burns out of fear. Burns out of like the nature of they are afraid that they will lose they will lose up at the end of the day, okay? So they thought that the more they burn, okay, the more they can actually get, okay? So it is actually branch out from fear rather than from love. But if we are actually doing all these pujas and all these offerings really out of love, okay, hopefully helping all these lost energies, lower realm energies, by more fire or more burning itself, it can actually help them to transcend rather than for you having selfish reasons to hoard more things in this material world, then it will work. Always remember, it's always yin and yang, okay? Because you can see a lot of people doing a lot of things out there. We have to see, branch back down to the core of the thing. Is it branching out of fear or branching out of compassionate love? Okay, so that makes a difference. All right, so yeah, Maini, thanks for sharing. Okay, what time is best for water activations and the positions? All this I've actually shared, okay, during my annual talk, Navigating. Remember, those of you who attended my Navigating, every month I have some activation work for you, okay, especially for this month. Really remember, follow my sharing, do all the activations, because we are now leading towards an even more important and even more magical year ahead of us, which is 2022. So whatever fear that we have to get rid of them now, okay, as much as possible, so that now, okay, once 2022 comes and the portals opens, we can transcend lips and foes, okay, really to achieve the things that we want to achieve. But we cannot do this as long as we're still bounded by fear. All right, so we have to actually do it with compassionate, love, and hope. Okay, so it's passion. All right, so thank you so much to all of you. I know it is slightly long. Okay, all right, so thank you for your time. Okay, and thank you for supporting me. Again, the same thing. If you have not helped me to share this out, I really appreciate it if you can actually share this out for me. And I'll see you this Saturday on my Tarot Your Core and You workshop, and also next week for my meditation workshop. Thank you so much. Good night, take care, and stay safe.